Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Yes, it's actually me finally uploading a video. We're just gonna act like I didn't take 4 months off and keep going with the flow. A lot has changed with not just the car, but me and my life. So that's kind of been occupying my mind more than doing car stuff and making videos. But we'll get to all that later on. But for now, this video is about the 3-step. So a couple weeks ago, I posted a video on my Instagram and Facebook, which if you don't follow me. I posted a video of doing a 3-step on Terminator X. And it piqued a lot of interest because it's not possible. You can't do a 3-step on a Terminator X. You can only do it on an HP or a Dominator. And I'm not big money balling, so I got a little peasant Terminator X, but it works. But a lot of people were interested in that, and there's videos out there, and there's a lot of information on the forums and the groups on Facebook and all. So I don't want to take any credit for inventing this. I just kind of took somebody's idea and did my own little twist to it, and it seems to work. I just feel like mine's a little bit better. It's not that much different. Unlike everybody else on the groups, I'm going to actually share what I do, and I'm going to flip this camera around and put you on the laptop, and maybe even take the car out at the end of the video and demonstrate it all. All right, so we're in the truck right now recording the screen. I don't have any of that fancy screen recorder stuff, so this is what y'all are gonna get. Since we're on this is also a way I've been figuring out how to do the scramble. So it's a 2D table. You could do it with a 1D too, but I chose to do a 2D so I can adjust it with what the boost already is. But this is a scramble. It goes off of the scramble / bump button, which is, hold on, right here. So it's just, it activates when the trans brake isn't enabled, and it activates when the scramble button is pushed, which also doubles as my bump button. The reason why you have to do this is because if you're bumping in, it won't add a bunch of boost. So, and I also have it over 50% TPS, so just in case it has to be pedaled or whatever, it's not adding boost as well. Well, yeah, if we go back to the table, it goes like this. So it goes off of how much boost I'm already running right here. And then this is time of when I touch the button. So for majority of this, it's all in at 1 second. So that gives me kind of a threshold to where I can hit the button a little early, and it's not just going to give me 16 on the dome right away. It'll gradually ramp it in, and that's perfect for like the street. Track, not so much. Pretty much I have it all in. I rarely hit the scramble, but on the street, you know, you never know what it's going to take. So for the street guys, no prep guys out there, this is a good way to gradually add the boost so you don't just shock the tire and ruin the whole run. But let's get to what you guys are here for. Oh, first, hold on, one more thing. I've also been messing with this. This is called a target launch boost. So the guys with the CO2 like myself, or onboard air, you know, 15 on the brake might end up giving you 10 or whatever. So this is a way that I made it to where it'll be 1-to-1 on the brake. So it works. I tried it. I don't know if I'm going to keep using it. It did work, but all my old data is set up how I used to have it, which is, you know, 12 pounds on the dome will give me the 8 pounds on the brake, or when I'm launching or whatever. So it does work though. If anybody wants to copy this, you got the dome right here and then the boost, and then like right here, usually 12 would give me about 10. So if I got 12 on the dome on the brake and I come to 10 pounds, it's going to add 2 to make it 12, if that makes sense. Just like 15. And also it adds dome early before you're making the boost, so it kind of helps with the spool up just a little bit, nothing crazy. But just like this, if I wanted to do 15, usually that would give me about 12 maybe. So 12, it'll add 3 on the dome and it'll make it 15. Like I said, it works. I don't know if anybody's ever tried that, but let me get to what you guys are here for. All right, so on my rev limiter screen, 4,800, and I can leave it that, but this is just for an example right now. So 4,800, you can make it whatever you want it, 5,000, whatever. This is what it's going to make before it hits the 3-step. This is your 2-step. The table I'm about to show you is your 3-step. So if you want to leave at 4,800 RPMs, then you're going to have to set this probably 58 or 55, whatever you want. But you want this about, I mean, if you leave between 3,500 and 4,200, then I would say make this 5,200. Just make it a couple hundred RPMs higher than what you're going to be, the highest that you're going to be leaving at. All right, so here's the 3-step table. It's going to be a 2D table, and do a dwell time offset as your table type, and then RPM and boost. Just the regular settings right here. The drive shaft sensor, that's just for me. You guys can do TPS over 50% or whatever you want. I mean, really, you don't have to have it at all, honestly. I usually, for certain things, I usually like to have a secondary just because I'm weird. So here's the bread and butter. Here's the table. This is just for example, like I said. At the end, I can leave this how it is, and I'll go out in the car and make a hit and test it out for you guys to see. Usually I'm not leaving on 3,800. I'm leaving on at least 42, street or track. Track, usually 46, sorry. So, say you wanted to leave at 3,800, right? We had that first rev limiter, the 2-step, set to 48. Like I said, that all depends on your setup and how it spools. Mine will never hit 4,800. I mean, it will, but it's going to drop before I make 11 pounds. So the point of this is, when it's spooling up, it's going to keep going until it hits 11 pounds. As soon as it hits 11 pounds, it's going to take all the dwell out of it, make the dwell 0, and it's going to hold the RPM right here. And if it drops in boost, it's going to give it more RPM, and then it'll drop it right back. Mine doesn't do that. I have mine pretty dialed in on the spool up, so mine doesn't oscillate like that. Usually what I want it to make, that's what it makes. Like I said, this is just for demonstration, and I can show you guys a log from me testing this out. Yeah, some of you guys that have a hard time spooling a real big turbo, you might end up going to 4,800 or whatever you set that first 2-step to. You might have it going far out here until it hits whatever you want it to hit, and it'll drop it down. You just got to play with this. I mean, I'm giving you guys the step right here. Like I said, don't put these in if you can, but you just kind of got to figure out how you want it to leave. I mean, if you're leaving at 4,000, then make all these 0. And if you're leaving at 8 pounds, then take all this out at 8. The point of that is, if I want to leave at 3,800 and 11 pounds, this is how I would have it. So that'll give you guys enough. Figure out how all that works. And I'll open a data log real quick. All right, here's a log from the video that I posted in the beginning. And as you can see, spooling up this little 4.8, it peaks at 4,200 and it drops down and it hovers at 3,800 right there. So like I said, I got a little turbo, little motor, but a little turbo. And to be honest with you, the only time I'll be using a 3-step is if I want to leave on really, really low RPM and a lot of boost. For the most part, I don't do that. It's usually pretty high to where I don't need this, but I just wanted to mess around with it to see if it would work. The blue line's the timing, and that's why you get that loud pop, because right when the RPM drops down, it's pulling all the timing. Total timing in it, I have 9 degrees right here. So it's pulling 10 degrees. This pink line at the bottom is the dwell. So you got all the dwell right here. On my combination, it's 4.6. And once it gets up here, it just drops down to nothing. And that's where the -10 comes in at. Really, you could probably put -5 and it would work. I just do 10 to be safe. So that's where it drops it down. And that dwell creates a rev limiter. I didn't stay on here long enough. Like I said, if I do another video, at the end of this video, taking it out and recording it on the 3-step again, I will stay on it a little longer just to show you guys that it doesn't stay as consistent on the RPM when it drops. I mean, I'm not saying it's big swings, but they're probably 100 to 150 RPM swings. Normally it's 25, 50 RPM swings. So regardless, it's still gonna hit the limiter. It's still a limiter. It's still gonna do what you want it to do. But you can see, as soon as it creeps up to 11 pounds, you can see the RPM and the boost drops down. When it hits 11 pounds, it drops down to the RPM that I set it up in the 2D table. And the yellow line is the boost. So I hope this makes sense for you guys. I'm not the best at explaining things, you guys know that, but a lot of people have been asking for this video, and I hope I rambled long enough for you guys to understand it. I can actually put it in the table to give you guys a better visual of how it works. It should show it pretty well. Yeah, so the green line is from the data log. So it's going up in RPM and boost. As soon as it gets right there, boom, drops it down. And you can see, kind of isolates a little bit. This tune actually isn't the same tune from that log. That's why it looks a little weird. But it'll give you guys a visual of how it actually works. So you can tell that I had it coming out at 10, probably about 10.5. Yeah, that makes more sense. And it dropped down to there. So that's how you do it. Like I said, whatever you want to leave at and whatever your car will go up to, you're going to want to adjust accordingly. So if you have any questions, hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, or leave a comment down below. Let me know if this worked. Let me know if it helped you. Give me a thank you for actually sharing this information and not being private with it. But I will try to get these videos coming out to you guys again. I know the season is here. The car's right there. I gotta do a couple more things and then we'll be out making laps again. So I'm gonna finish this video off with hopefully taking that thing out and giving you guys an example of what it's gonna do with the 3-step. So I really